So you're about to attend MagicCon for the first time, or you've been before and you felt lost when you went, and now you're looking for advice for the next MagicCon so you don't feel as overwhelmed, dazed, and confused. Well, this is the guide for you. Hi, my name is Tony and I'm banned from Germany. Today I'm here to help you with all your inquiries. This is a guide to MagicCon. So this guide will be broken down into 4 sections. The first section will be a before the con guide, giving you tips of things to do to prep for the con. And then we'll have 3 more sections. One of those sections will have things to do with playing Magic the Gathering. The next will have things to do with buying / shopping, collecting, things of that nature. And the last section will be con exclusive activities. Feel free to skip around as much as you want, come back and reference parts of this video. And if you've been to a lot of MagicCons before, or you're just an experienced con goer, leave tips down below for your fellow planeswalkers. Be sure to like the video, share it around to people who might be able to make use of a video like this, and subscribe for more guides in the future. Alright, let's get started with things to do before the con. There are quite a few things you can do before the con to make your experience that much better. First thing you want to look at is check out the ticketed play schedule. You want to do this as early as possible. Look at the ticketed play events, decide which, if any, you want to do, and go ahead and buy them now. A ticketed play event is a prepaid event you'll sign up for on the MagicCon website that will guarantee you a spot in a very specific event. Some examples of ticketed events are pre-releases, 1Ks, 5Ks, Gavin Verhey's Unknown event. A lot of these ticketed play events you could still sign up for at the con, but a lot of them might be sold out by the time the con starts or the event starts. It's important to go through the list early and find out what you might be interested in playing, and then add it to your calendar as soon as possible. Do note that a lot of things that are ticketed play events have an equivalent on-demand option, so if it's something like a 1K or a sealed event, you'll probably be able to find on-demand options for those, so don't stress about those too much. But the weirder things like a Chaos Draft or, once again, Gavin Verhey's Unknown event, you'll want to get signed up for that as soon as possible. Next thing we're going to talk about is deck lists. Now, whether you're planning on playing a competitive event or not, or you're planning on playing Commander all weekend, it can be a very good idea to just have all of your decks and deck lists available at all times. Being able to quickly check if you have a card in your deck before you check out a vendor, or verifying your list between games, or my favorite use case, checking out which artists have made cards for my favorite decks against the list of artists that are going to be showing up at the con. I personally like to use Moxfield to keep track of my decks. Not a sponsor, but you could be if you want, John Moxfield, hit me up. I just like Moxfield for how quickly I can access all my decks, get a full visual spoiler of all the decks so I can verify the art that I think I'm looking at. And the best feature of all is you can quickly organize your decks by artist. So if I'm going through a list and I see an artist that's going to be there, I can send that card to a separate list, and then when I'm at the artist alley, I can open up that deck list and see all the cards I want to get signed. Next thing you want to do is prepare your trade-ins ahead of time. If you're planning on trading in cards at the convention, it's a good idea to have these cards separated and put away in a way that they're quickly accessible. Also, once again, listing and organizing them on a website like Moxfield is going to be very useful. Knowing what cards you have and knowing what your cards are worth, or at least being able to quickly reference those things, are going to be infinitely useful when you're talking about trading them in and verifying prices with vendors. You want to make sure the values you're getting for your trade-ins are commensurate with the market. The last thing we're going to talk about is having your bag packed and having your outfits planned and laid out well before you actually get to the con. Can be such a little thing that makes such a big difference to your con experience. As far as outfits go, when you look good, you feel good. And you've probably been waiting for this event all year, so let's put our best foot forward. Let's make sure we look our best, feel our best, and yes, my fellow planeswalkers, smell our best. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to wear, but I do highly recommend wearing some very comfortable underwear, socks, and comfortable shoes. Trust me on this. And I'm going to lightly recommend that you probably wear something that fits into the theme of the con. Get yourself in the spirit as though you're going to a Halloween party or a Christmas party. It's these little things that add a major spike to your enjoyment factor. As far as your bag goes, I recommend packing light, but packing very smart. Especially if you're in a hotel nearby or you're a local, do not bring every single deck with you to the convention at once. You have to carry that bag around with you all day, and it is going to hurt your back. So pack smart. And also make sure you pack any essentials you might need for any convention. Deodorant, mints, meds you might need, of course, wipes to clean your pits and crevasses throughout the day, snacks, and maybe a small portable battery or charger. All right, we've done the prep work. Now let's head to the con. There are many ways to play Magic the Gathering at MagicCon. Besides the ticketed play events we've already talked about, let's talk about some of the other most popular and most common ways you'll see to play Magic at MagicCon. So first of all, there'll be some kind of like pre-release and sealed type event there, especially considering MagicCons typically coincide with the release of a new set. So if you like limited, don't worry, there will be on-demand ways to play limited throughout the entirety of the event. If there was a set that just came out but you didn't get a chance to pre-release it, there will be an event similar that you'll still get the same kind of experience from that you can do at MagicCon. In addition to sealed and draft events, there are on-demand events of all sorts. On-demand events are events that you don't have to pre-register for, like ticketed play events, and on-demand events cost anywhere from $20 to $100. You can buy vouchers for these events in multiples of $5. You'll then take these vouchers to the separate waiting areas for each different type of event. You'll wait there with your group of people who are also waiting to do an on-demand event. A judge will come by, collect your vouchers, and start the event. There are many types of on-demand events. Commander on-demand events that you play by yourself, two-headed giant commander events that you'll play with a buddy. There are sealed events, there are CDH events, and of course there are events for standard, pioneer, modern, legacy, you name it. If it's extracted format, there are definitely on-demand events for it. The next thing that will be at almost every single MagicCon, or I think every single MagicCon, will be the Pro Tour qualifier. This is typically some kind of sealed event that will happen that will give you access to the Pro Tour if you win. The Pro Tour qualifier is for the most competitive and skilled and determined players out there. So you'll be playing with the best of the best, or at least those trying to prove themselves to be the best of the best. This is a 2-day event that you can enter for $125, and you could try your best to make top 32 in the first day, to get to day 2 and make top 4 and enter the Pro Tour. Pro Tour qualifiers also have amazing prize support. You'll get things like play boosters, collector boosters, obviously the invitation. It's honestly a very fun, challenging, and rewarding experience, so give it a shot. And the final way to play, well, not the final way to play, but the final way to play that we'll be covering in this video, because everything else can be kind of nebulous, things change from con to con, but it's the command zone. The command zone is a free area where you can sit down and play Commander, the most popular format in Magic the Gathering. You can sit down with friends, strangers, and catch games of Commander, or sometimes you can even catch games of other formats like Cube, Type 4, or if you're very lucky, someone's homebrew they brought. You'll often catch content creators, artists, and Wizards employees just hanging around the command zone. But there is one place that you're more likely to find these people, and we'll talk about that in further sections. But yeah, the command zone is probably where 99% of people are going to spend the majority of their time. Like, people will come in and out of the command zone throughout the whole weekend to get things signed or buy things, but they'll probably migrate back here unless they're Pro Tour qualifying or grinding out for tickets. And the last thing I want to talk about in the play section before we move on to the collecting section, it's kind of all merges together, is tickets. So everything but the command zone will give you some amount of tickets when you win, lose, or whatever, and you can save up these tickets to go spend at a prize wall. The prize will have things like those giant cards you've seen content creators have behind them on their channels, to things like great deals on collector boosters, great deals on sleeves, great deals on playmats. The prize wall is really cool, and you can get tickets for them by playing in, like I said, things like the Pro Tour qualifier, the sealed events, the on-demand events. So definitely keep track of these and find the prize wall near you. Scout out maybe what you want to save up for and shoot to do enough events to maybe get that thing. And if you're looking for one of those big cards, good luck. I believe in you. But do know those are some of the most expensive things to get at a prize wall, and they're not going to be easy. Time to dive into one of my favorite things to do at any con, and that is collecting/shopping, because I am something of a treasure goblin myself. There are many ways to collect and shop at the convention, and most of these will be pretty apparent when you walk in. So instead, I'm going to give you a bunch of tips to keep in mind as you're going through your shopping and collecting experience. First thing I want to say is start with the official merch store. If you want something from the official merch store, just get that out of the way as early as possible. That'll be the store that has things go out of stock the quickest, and that'll be the line that takes the longest to get through by a lot. Trust me, if you want the con exclusive secret lair, shirt, or pin, just go ahead and jump in the line and pick it up as soon as possible. And a pro tip, the next time you're going to go to a MagicCon, a lot of the con exclusive merch can be bought ahead of time and attached to your badge purchase, so do remember that. You can find a list of all the merch that's going to be available at your MagicCon on the website, so do take a look at that. And if you want something, jump in line. Next step is to check prices and shop around. Now, if you're interested in a card that you see in a vendor's case, but you think the price might be a little high, it's okay to stop, check the price on a online website, and see if it makes sense for the market. You want to make sure you aren't overpaying. Like, there will be markups at cons, sometimes you'll get great deals, but you want to make sure you're not getting like completely ripped off. And even if a card is marked up a little more or a lot more than you see on other online marketplaces, this does not necessarily denote malicious intent when you're talking to a vendor, because cards change prices all the time, and especially if you see a sticker on it, like they didn't check that price like an hour before the card like shot up in price or shot down in price. So definitely talk to them and see what they can do. If they're willing to negotiate, great. And if they're not, check around some other vendors. You're very likely to find another copy of the card you're looking for at another vendor. But definitely always be cordial with vendors, and vendors be cordial with buyers. Everybody's kind of stressed out. It's a lot going on at MagicCon. That's why I'm making this guide. If you're anything like me and you love picking up like cards, pins, and like other accessories to commemorate events you've been to, definitely keep an eye out for things like con exclusive or vendor exclusive accessories. In the past at MagicCon Vegas, there was an IHOP crossover or event that MagicCon had put on, which gave you an exclusive set of +1/+1 counters. They were very cool. And the following year in Vegas, there was an Ultimate Guard deck box engraving situation that was going on that was very cool, and that was only happening at the con. And I would have been very sad if I didn't pay attention to get those things. Take a look at the specific exclusive vendory things that are happening around you and make sure you're not missing anything really, really cool. Another thing to do at MagicCon is to collect and trade pins. These pins typically feature characters from the latest Magic the Gathering set or iconic characters from Magic the Gathering's, pantheon. And you can buy these pins from the same vendors you're buying singles from because they're usually spread out throughout the con that way. You'll be able to find a list of which vendor has which pin everywhere throughout the con, so just look around or ask. And definitely think about going to the trading area. There will be a post where you'll be able to trade pins with people, leave a pin, take a pin kind of situation. And definitely if you see any Wizards employees around, ask them about pins. Sometimes they have free stuff to give away, and that's kind of cool. All right, next up we're talking about Artist Alley, and this is definitely my favorite thing to do at MagicCon. You get a chance to interact with the wonderful people whose artwork brings this game to life. You can get your card signed by artists, buy a con exclusive playmat, or get some artwork from an artist that you've never seen on a playmat before. You can probably get it at MagicCon. You can just talk to the artist, or if you're very lucky, you might be able to pick up an artist proof that the artist has. And that's about all I really wanted to cover on the shopping/collecting part of MagicCon. There is a lot more to do, but these are the things that are generally always at every MagicCon. There will be more specific things happening at your con, but keep an eye out for vendors doing impromptu giveaways, wheel spins for free stuff. Some of them sell blind boxes with really good value. I've seen someone open a blind box from a vendor that had a revised Underground Sea, which was awesome. All right, the last section we're going to talk about is con exclusive activities. Now, there are many things that happen basically only at MagicCon, or stuff that you'll only have a chance to see live at MagicCon. And you might even get a chance to participate in some of the stuff. The list of exact things will change from con to con, but there are a few things that seem to happen every single MagicCon, so I wanted to highlight those here. The first thing I want to highlight is Game Nights Live / Commander at Home Live / Game Shows Live. If you ever wanted to see the Game Nights crew or other popular Magic the Gathering gameplay series crews live, this is your chance to do it. I haven't seen the Commander at Home live show like in person yet, but I'm sure it's fantastic. But I have seen the Game Nights live show, and that is a whole big production that feels a lot like a stage play, and it's very fun. It's very cool. It's one of the coolest things you'll do at MagicCon, and I highly advise you checking it out. It's absolutely free. But if you want to check it out, you might want to get seating early. You get to see all your favorite content creators play their favorite decks or theme decks, and they'll be in beautiful costumes. And sometimes they even pull audience members up to join the party. So definitely check out Game Nights Live or whatever other live game show they're having there. Then we got the Magic Online booth. This is the crew from Magic Online showing you how Magic Online works, explaining it to you, talking about history with you, and they're just cool cats, and they're typically at every MagicCon, at least I've been to. So if you want to give Magic Online a shot, this will be a place to do so. Then there are meet and greets. There will be an area in the convention hall that most of the content creators will hang out at when they're not in the command zone or they're not doing a scheduled event that they have. And you can go here and meet your favorite content creator, walk around with them, have a conversation. A lot of them are actually looking for games, and this will be a great place to talk to them, maybe catch a game with your favorite dude or dudette, are they at? And larger content creators will actually sometimes have tables and specific times you'll be able to walk up to them and meet them. So definitely check your con schedule if there's a specific content creator you expect to be there and want to meet them. Like someone like the professor, game nights, that level of person. And the final thing I want to highlight that's not con exclusive, that seems to be at every single con, is the after party. Now this one's just for the cool kids, and by that I mean kids that are over 21, and by that I mean people who aren't actually kids at all because they're 21-year-olds, and that makes them legally adults. Yeah, typically this happens Friday or Saturday, and it's typically off-site from the main convention, and it's a fun, safe way to have a club-like experience with a bunch of Magic the Gathering nerds like you. There's alcohol, music, sometimes there's karaoke. This event's usually themed, so if it's around Halloween time, people will show up in costumes. If there's a big set release, people will show up in costumes based on that set or outfits based on that set. Sometimes it's a karaoke party, sometimes it's a murder mystery. It can be a lot of different things, but it's always a lot of fun and a lot of booze. So if you're over 21, enjoy that. Buy your ticket ahead of time. And yeah, that's my relatively thorough guide to MagicCon. If you have more questions about things regarding MagicCon, or you're going to an upcoming MagicCon, leave those questions down below. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you see a question down there and you know that you can answer it, go ahead and answer that. People would really appreciate that. We want to make sure this experience is as fun as it can be for everyone who shows up. So if you got tips, leave them. If you found this guide useful, go ahead and leave me a like. I appreciate that. Subscribe for more. And if you know someone who could use this guide, please do actually send it to them. I know when I went to my first MagicCon, I was very overwhelmed. I personally suffer with anxiety and I hate crowds. And if I just had a little more guidance of things to do or nudges in a direction, I think it would have been very useful. So that's why I wanted to make this. Go enjoy MagicCon. If you see me at a MagicCon, come say hi. I would love to catch a game with you. And that's about it.